So Dave, we're looking at your car now. It looks amazing, but can you tell me what type of car is it?
32 coupe replica.
Right, and what is so special? Obviously it looks special. What makes it so special?
Well, on this particular hot rod, it's the speed really. It's got a big block motor. It's built for speed, not running about. It's built for the drags, and it's got an MOT, which is a bonus.
How'd you get an MOT on something like this? Should I not ask that?
No, don't know.
So in terms of speed, how fast does it actually go?
Well, the fastest time the previous owner had was a standing quarter with the slicks and the nitrous, and obviously the powerful big motor was 10.7, I believe. So I suppose, see, it's geared low for drag racing. I guess it'll do 140, 150. If you change the diff, it'll do 160, 170. You know, it's a big 8-litre motor at the end of the day.
And do you do a lot of like things like the Americana? Is that what you do? You show it around?
Yeah, we just paddle about, go in different places, different locations.
So when you actually bought this, what did it look like and how much work have you actually done on it?
Well, it was bright orange, like you can see from all the cage and stuff. Now it's in grey primer because it's a rough boy look, because I'm not happy with the car. It still needs loads of work on it, and that's the message that the grey primer portrays really. It tells people the car ain't finished, I ain't happy with it. We'll paint it. We've already done a lot of work on it, but it still needs a lot yet to get it right.
And how much would something like doing this cost? How much have you spent so far? Can you tell me?
Yeah, about 10 grand so far, and nowhere near ready yet.
So how much do you think it will cost by the time you've got it exactly how you want it to be?
Probably another 6 or 7 yet.
6 or 7 thousand. So it's a costly thing, isn't it? It's a costly hobby.
You've got to be ready for it. There's no cutting corners with stuff like this, really.
Right, in terms of how it runs, it doesn't look like a normal car inside, well, it doesn't to me anyway, but I'm a novice. So if you can just explain a bit about kind of the gears, the clutch, the brake.
Pretty much, really, a normal car with an automatic gearbox, except it's got you can run it as a manual as well with this full competition top, and all you're doing is pulling this back, you know, one gear at a time, and then it's away. It's built for racing at the end of the day. And this button here, it would introduce the nitrous, you know, as you was racing it. So, you know, we're on nitrous with it as well. But apart from that, push button start, electric fuel pumps all on separate switches, race rev counter, red light for shifting. That's it, dashboard wise, temperature gauge, speedo, oil pressure, just keep an eye on things. Got a couple of warning lights. It's actually got a small fuel tank and no fuel gauge, which is a little bit crazy, and an 8-litre engine, so we have to keep dipping it, making sure we've still got some fuel in there. But it's a race car, so that's what you get with a race car, I guess. I might try and mackle up a bit of a gauge so I can see what's happening. The gauges on the front are for fuel pressure, actually outside. They're to get the fuel pressure up before the nitrous is introduced. You know, only when you're racing, obviously we won't be using that on the street. That's it basically, it's a very basic car.
How much petrol does it use? A lot?
Yeah, we've worked it out. If you start riding it hard, it's doing between 4 and 6 miles to the gallon. And if you take your time, I guess it'll be doing 10, because you ride around on tick over. At a place like this, it'll be doing, I don't know, it's riding around on tick over, bringing 9 miles per gallon just running around here, which is as good as it gets, really.
Gosh, that's a lot. That costs a lot in itself per year.
Yeah, it does, yeah, but it's come with a car trailer, so, you know, if we're going long distances off, we'll take it down the drags, we'll chuck it on the trailer, then miles per gallon ain't a problem, really. It's just your fuel on the day. You know, it's cheaper to do it that way than it is to drive to an event sometimes.
And what's the fastest it could do on like a motorway?
Well, obviously 70 mile an hour.
I don't believe you.
No, it'll do 150 without struggling, I would have thought. You know, if anybody wanted to run against it, to get up there so quick, you know, you'd be a fool really to run against it.
You'd leave all the Porsches, would you?
Oh yeah, they don't even come into it really. Yeah.
God, the boy racers would love this car.
Yeah, coming down there we had a Golf GTI trying to overtake us up the inside. I don't know what he thought he was doing, but it wasn't even in the league, nowhere near. Yeah. Then back tyres say it all, don't they? You know, so only a fool's going to mess with a motor like this, really. But they still do it. I mean, when you listen to it, they'll still come next to it and think about running with you. You got no chance, really. You know, it's just like a race car inside, but we've still got a CD player.
Have you? So you've got the mod con, but have you got aircon?
No.
Are you going to get it?
We haven't even got windows properly, really.
I can feel the heat coming out of there.